So what are the keys to good, local, positive PR? Why is it that some people seem to have local editors and local producers tied around their finger while others battle away endlessly for hours, all seemingly to no avail? Well, let's see if we can work out what works and what doesn't work when it comes to good prostate cancer related PR. First of all, think media package. It's about being able to bring a case study and some talent and some photo opportunities all together into the one package, much more than it is about being able to churn out a press release. Also, think personal. Journalists are trained to tell stories through the eyes of those people that are most affected. And then finally, think local. Even if it's a national development or an international story, if it's happening in Tasmania, then the Tasmanian media are going to be interested in that issue from a Tasmanian perspective.
A Tasmanian ambassador, David Abraham, has helped get the mining industry on board.
And we've been contacted by the mines and quarry industry, and they want to know if we can go into 29 mines in different states around Australia, and that's all come out of Hobart.
Think visual. What will they be able to take photos of? What will the film crews be able to film? And even if the news on the day isn't that captivating, sometimes just having good photo and filming opportunities can be enough to get the story over the line.
Bikies have been called in to help spread the message that radical new thinking is needed to raise awareness of the deadly disease among men. The idea of training barbers and hairdressers to discuss prostate cancer with their customers has even been raised.
Stay in contact with your local media representatives. It's much easier to sell a story and have a conversation about a story idea or a media idea with someone you know and someone you've worked with before than it is trying to pitch that idea cold. And make sure you give people plenty of notice as well. Don't land them with a story idea that they need to move on straight away, or something that really doesn't give them a chance to do their own work in pulling that story together. So remember, stay in contact, try to give them plenty of notice. So there's a few tips, but how do we go about putting those tips into action? Well, the first thing is to decide what the theme or the hook is going to be. Are you making an announcement about a new local development? Are you launching a support group? Is there an ambassador in town? What are we building our story around? I mean, sometimes you're going to be in a position where you're leveraging something which is happening on a national level, and you might be using some template media materials and a strategy or approach which has been determined for the whole country. Other times, of course, you may be doing things off your own bat and doing things much more independently about a development which is occurring in your region. Who's going to be the talent? Who's going to be handling the media interviews, the live interviews on radio, for example, or speaking to the local print journalists? What photos and visuals are you going to put on, and what might they look like, and how will they be coordinated for local photographers and film crews? You'll need to draft some written materials, and there's normally two key forms of those materials. There's an alert, which tends to tell media what's coming up and what opportunities there are in the future. And then there's a media release, which tends to capture and tell media what has happened on a particular day. So having drafted and had those materials approved, then it's a matter of making sure that the people that are talking about that story, whether it's the spokesperson or whether it's the case study who's personalising that issue, stays on message, that you've developed key messages and that the spokespeople are staying with that message. There's nothing more frustrating than spending a lot of time creating media opportunities, setting up radio interviews, and then finding that the people that are doing those interviews are not really nailing the key messages. I mean, there's no point trying to raise awareness about a fundraiser if your talent is out talking about the latest research. So you've got to agree as a team what the media drive is about, and then make sure that the people that are acting as the talent and doing the interviews actually stay on message. So once you've developed all your written materials and you know the news angle, and you're clear about the visual filming opportunities you're going to provide to local media, there comes a time now where you have to pitch that story to the local decision makers. And the key to that is the same as the key to selling anything in life, and that is trying to work out what's in it for them. Why would they want to cover this story? How is this story going to look in their newspaper? Or how is this going to fit the format of their radio program? Pitch it to them, but as you do that, make sure you put yourself in their shoes.
Interrupting transmission.
So then follow up and see the process through. Journalists are constantly looking for people who can help them get things done and see stories through right to the end. So make sure you follow up, see yourself as an important part of the team working on that story, or making sure that story gets into print, or that radio segment gets produced and has a positive impact on listeners. Follow up, see the process right through, and show the journalist and the media decision makers that you can help get things done. So I hope this has been useful. If you can recall just a few things as you pull your PR plans together, remember this. First of all, think package. It's about being able to pull the full range of resources together that journalists are looking for to put a story in the can. Second of all, think personal. Journalists are trained to tell these stories from a personal perspective. Thirdly, think visual. What will the photographers take photos of? What will the film crews film? And finally, think local. Always try to localise what's going on so that you end up talking about the impact of this story or this development on the local community. So good luck with your local PR, and I'm sure we'll be seeing lots of results from your efforts through the ongoing prostate cancer media monitoring.